not going to be fun at all. That's why we're here, to talk about the stuff that really effing matters. And that is the fact that two Boston sports teams got 2 wins each over the weekend, and the other team is the New England Patriots. Before I get into that, I just saw a tweet before I came on here about apparently the Chiefs having interest in Tyreek Hill, which it's not going to happen. But the tweet was like, man, Tyreek Hill going back to KC would be a perfect storybook ending. I'm like, why? I don't know. Explain, like, why would that be a storybook ending? Because he used to play there?
That's someone reaching for content.
Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's like a Chiefs legend. He won a Super Bowl. It's not like he missed out on them winning it. It's kind of a bad guy. Like, I don't know. What's the storybook aspect of this? People are weird, man. People are weird. I'm begging for this guy to answer. Just like, please tell me what part of that was storybook. I just don't like people just throwing stuff around like that. Anyway, I don't know where else to go with that.
People love a reunion, man.
Yeah, but it's like, do they even does Mahomes even like him? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He was pretty content to leave Kansas City and get, obviously really good money. I think the highest paid receiver at the league at the time, which is like, okay. He seems to kind of like Miami. I mean, they don't have a quarterback this year, so who wouldn't be disappointed? But it's like, whoa, storybook. Storybook is Ray Bork playing for the Bruins for 21 years and being one of the best players in the league and not winning the Stanley Cup and winning the Stanley Cup in his last ever game. That's storybook. Tyreek Hill going back to the Chiefs is transaction. Transaction book. Like, that's all that is. Anyway. He's not going to the Tennessee Titans. He's not going to the New England Patriots. But if he did, he would take those teams out of either 32 or 31 in the league in terms of the talent power rankings, because they squared off yesterday. Patriots, Titans, Nashville, catch the fever. Mark Schlereth on color for this one. That's how you know it's a big game. When you hear Mark Schlereth, if you remember that guy is still alive and doing football media and he's on your game, you know it's big time. And it's become kind of a house of horrors for the Patriots. Last 2 times they were there, not been fun trips to the Music City. Titans win it 20-17 in overtime. And this is what I have to battle every week with the Patriots now, is that I was so angry at the end of the game yesterday. And again, I know you've heard me talk about this, Scotty. I had to talk to myself last night, be like, why are you doing this? I hit my kind of knocked my fist on the coffee table. It's like, why? Like, this team is ass. It's so bad. They should have won this game yesterday. I thought Tennessee was trying everything they could to lose it. And the Patriots just didn't do it, didn't take advantage of anything. But you're like, it's like, why, dude? Going into this game that you have 2 good NFL players on the entire roster, and you're going to get angry when they fucking lose? Like, is that kind of fits into the definition of insanity. What it really fits into is the definition of being a dumbass. Like, what did you expect? I wasn't thinking about this game much this week, but I was like, look, they're going down. They're facing Tennessee. Tennessee's got 1 foot out the door. At least the Patriots have a quarterback to be hopeful for that's going to keep them playing this season and playing inspired football to some degree. The Titans don't have that, and they still lose. Drake Maye has an 0-1 career record against Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph was, like playing guitar behind a hat on the floor of South Station a few weeks ago. And now he's beating the Patriots. To be fair, the guy who's playing guitar behind a hat at South Station right now could maybe beat the Patriots. I'd give him a shot. I would give him a shot. If it was him instead of Stu Huntley in that Miami game, it still might have been a Dolphins victory. I'll say that. And I just get tickled by, a couple weeks ago, Greg Bedard on Felger and Maz, with, of course, the 2 boneheads who host the show agreeing with him, Felger and Maz, of being like, after Drake Maye's first career start where they lost to the Texans, and Drake Maye said, I think our team let Drake down today. Those guys, Bedard, Felger, and Maz, are on that show being like, oh, that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to cater to the rookie quarterback. Nothing's his fault. It's like, did you watch yesterday, guys? Did you watch that shit show against Tennessee? Yeah, it's not his fault. In fact, it is pretty much everyone else's fault. Drake Maye, Christian Gonzalez, those are the NFL players you have on your roster of any kind of quality. The rest are there. They are some of the NFL players of all time. That make up the rest of your roster. You might need to relocate to Jacksonville because they're all Jags. All of them, up and down the roster, man. And to say this offensive line was back to square one would be disrespectful to square one, which was really, really bad to begin with. But we're right back to that. Worst offensive line in the league. Obviously, just nothing out there for weapons. Like, to say that other teams have weapons, if that's the case, if other teams have weapons, the Patriots just have a bunch of Nerf guns, man. Not even airsoft guns. They just got a bunch of guys out there, like the fake props they use in the Three Stooges movie. Like, that's all they are, man. They're rubber props. Kendrick Bourne, Jalen Polk, Austin Hooper, some tight end I'd never even heard of. You know how bad you got to be? You know how obscure you have to be a Patriot catching a pass that I've never heard of? Jaheim Bell is a 7th round guy. Should have known him. But to be fair, these guys are a bunch of nobodies. Pop Douglas, decent little player, man. Absolutely. Hunter Henry, your leading receiver again. Don't really want that to be the case here, but that's the case. It's what I realized in this game against the Titans is I don't necessarily know if we're going to see the progress really play out on the football field for Drake Maye. And what I mean by that is obviously he has played well, but he could be progressing at a rapid rate in terms of, reading defenses, going through his progressions, not putting the ball in harm's way. And we just might not know as casual fans because they're not going to win games and his receivers aren't going to catch the football. And he's going to have to be the leading rusher like he was in the game yesterday. He's going to have to make miracles happen. And that's literally what happened at the end of regulation. The Patriots have one play, 4 seconds left, need a touchdown to tie the game, and Drake Maye pulls this out of the bag.
Drake Maye for the game. Patting the ball. Maye scanning. Loads of time. He'll roll. He'll run. A sidestep. He's ready to throw. Nobody's open. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Oh my goodness. Stevenson. And Maye with an absolute jewel of an effort.
Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is your franchise right there. Protect him and cater to him at all costs. At all costs. That is your only hope. Number 10. That's it. So want to bring back that discussion from Bedard of, we're going to cater to the rookie quarterback? You're sure as shit right we are. That is the only hope in hell that you have. Cater to him, man. Other teams do it. Find success. You don't think Kansas City catered themselves to Mahomes early in his career? Of course they did. That doesn't mean don't build a team, but they catered to him. They catered to Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, got them to a Super Bowl. Unless you have a Sean McVay or a Kyle Shanahan, you're catering to the quarterback because those guys have scheme, okay? You're not going to have someone like that. You outright refuse to interview Ben Johnson, which means you have no interest in having a head coach with an actual scheme and strategy, and preferably one that works on the offensive side of the ball, considering how successful those coaches are in the NFL now. Kyle Shanahan's made it to a couple Super Bowls. Sean McVay's made it to a couple Super Bowls. He's won one. Andy Reid's won a couple of Super Bowls. Offensive guys. This is why I get so mad about the Jerod Mayo appointment. So angry. It's like you knew you were going quarterback. Jaden Daniels or Drake Maye. You knew that's where you were going in the draft. You knew that was you were going to hang your hat on that quarterback to be your franchise guy, even more so than when you did the Mac Jones thing. You knew you were using a top 3 pick on that guy, and you decided to promote a linebackers coach with no head coaching experience. I'm really hoping that's not a decision that sinks this franchise for a decade, because you have a guy who's going to keep you in games for hopefully that amount of time. I mean, with as bad as this team is, he is out there doing the damn thing. 95 yards on the ground. Sacked 4 times. If Jacoby Brissett was in that game, he would have got sacked 10 times. Easily. The only reason this offensive line looks somewhat good by the counting stats is because Drake Maye is out there. Only reason. And he's, again, your leading rusher with 95 yards. Your running backs in this game, how about 12 carries for 15 yards? Remember 2 weeks ago against Jacksonville? And I was like fucking popping blood vessels up here, screaming about how brain dead it is that this team thinks they're a running football team. Like, how much more evidence do you need? Twice in the last 3 weeks, you have faced a team that went into your game with 1 win. And both times you were held under 40 rushing yards from your running backs. Both times. You're not a running football team. Let the kid throw it. And they were better at it at this game, but I'll take you back to a sequence before the half, 2-minute drill. Drake Maye's cooking. He's got a couple first downs in a row. They're over midfield. 2nd and 1. They run it into the line twice. They go from 2nd and 1 to 4th and 4 against a team with 1 win, and then they have a 15-yard punt. And because Tennessee is so goddamn inept, they didn't do anything. Like 30 teams in the league are at least getting a field goal out of that. But Tennessee, Mason Rudolph is just chucking it to the cheerleaders instead. Like, you're lucky it was this close, because an even halfway competent football team would have blown the Patriots out yesterday. And what really bugged me, which caused me to hit the damn coffee table, is the fact the Patriots lost the turnover battle 3-1. Drake Maye does throw 2 picks in this game. One of them was not good at all in the first half. The other one, he's trying to make a play that he probably shouldn't be trying to make, but it's not that far off. But the fact that it was 3-1 in turnovers, because Tennessee in the 4th quarter and overtime fumbled it 3 times. The Patriots fumbled it once, and Tennessee recovered. The Titans fumbled it 3 times and did not lose a fumble. Twice on special teams, once on offense in overtime that would have taken the game-winning field goal off the board. Patriots, I think they need to be told they are allowed to land on that. When the ball is free, it is okay for them to go and get it and recover it. New rule in the NFL, you are allowed to do that. But again, like, why do I get angry? It's because Tony Pollard was run off a team last year that now has the worst running back room in football. Okay? No one in the Cowboys organization or in the Cowboys fan base was sad to see Tony Pollard go. And now they have the worst allotment of running backs in the league. That guy ran for 128 yards on you and 28 carries. Couldn't stop them. Could not stop them. And so 2 weeks ago, Drake Maye comes out and says his team is soft, can't run the football, can't defend against the run. They basically get a free space, a forfeit victory because they play the Jets. And after that, we're right back to it. We're just right back to it, where you're giving up 400 yards of total offense to the Tennessee freaking Titans. They didn't even know they were allowed to do that. They had no idea, man. 167 yards on the ground. Tennessee, Tony Pollard. Oof. And the Patriots get 110, 95 of them from their quarterback. He's the only hope you've got. I think it's okay for the Patriots to win some games. They are number one right now. Number one, baby. Come late April, they will be on the clock, number one. But it's okay to win some games because you're not drafting a quarterback. And get the left tackle at 5. Great draft capital. Someone will trade up to get there. But I don't know if that's the shit performance you're going to put out against Tennessee, then probably not winning another game this year because you're done with the Jets. Jets are over. No more Jets games. You face a reeling Chicago team this week on the road. I got no confidence in that. If that's how you're going to stop the run, quote unquote, stop the run. But if you're solely looking at this season in terms of what the quarterback is going to give you, then yesterday was promising because he was clutch and he got them to overtime and he had just nothing to help him out. Nothing. Think about this. No running game, no offensive line, no pass catchers. The kid is doing it all by himself. No one really got open on that final play of regulation. He threw a perfectly lofted ball there to the left arm side of Ramondre Stevenson and allowed him to box out and get it. But they have nothing. And their second round pick, second game in a row, he's shut out. Hasn't had a catch in a month. Tyquan Thornton, again, just a theory, didn't play. Kendrick Bourne, once again, pretty much a no-show, 2 catches. Like, you've got nothing out there. The kid is doing it all by himself. This is what I get frustrated with. 2 years ago, last year, the Patriots and the Commanders were both 4-13. The Patriots had more money to spend this offseason than the Commanders did. The Patriots are 2-7. The Commanders are 7-2. Because they have something around the quarterback. Is it a lot? No. But they have some sort of competent NFL roster around the quarterback. And the quarterback is good. And they're 7-2. The Patriots also drafted a good quarterback. But because of their complete organizational failure the last 3 years, they have nothing. Nothing.